Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share and support the platform. Hey you guys, I know this video is so long overdue and it's actually making me think about starting a tennis channel because I want to separate my tennis videos from this channel because I know I do have a section of viewers who mainly like tennis and they want to hear my commentary about tennis, so maybe I could start that. But in today's video, I want to discuss the dragging session that is going on with Naomi Osaka's Twitter. She became #1 in the world and she fired her coach Sascha Bajin, who helped her to win 2 Grand Slams, and she also snagged the #1 ranking in the world. So I want to show you guys the Twitter responses of them dragging her. I also want you to see some of the videos about Sascha's behavior, and I just want to give my opinion on why I think that they split up. So if you want to hear my commentary, definitely stay tuned for the video. If you're having some skincare issues and uneven skin tone and acne, X Moisture's organic skincare cream will be a great solution for you. It is effective. If you are interested in purchasing, please go to xmoisture.com. You guys have actually been emailing me about how much you are raving over CarMarshal because you like the simplicity of the site as well as their customer service. They have over 100,000 cars in their inventory for you to select from, so definitely go down to carmarshal.com, tell them Paris Milan sent you. You guys always ask me, how do you keep your skin so clear? And definitely one of my secrets is Ash Kicken's African Black Soap, and they have other skincare products that you can use. So go down to ashkicken.com. If you use Paris Milan at checkout, you will receive 15% off. Again, go to ashkicken.com. Also make sure you go and pick up your melanated gear, your cinch bags, your hoodies. Go support Black currency unmasked. Sascha Bajin was actually initially the hitting partner for Serena Williams before he started working with Naomi Osaka. He was the hitting partner of Serena Williams for about 8 years. One time when I was at the Bank of the West, I was watching Serena practice with Sascha, and he came across as a pretty friendly person. He literally stopped hitting with her to turn around and speak to me, and he said hi. And I've actually seen him around the grounds when I was entered into the Bank of the West. That's a whole nother story. And it was just something about, I don't know, Sascha and Serena's relationship that was a little odd to me, like even though he was her hitting partner. And I want to show you guys a clip of what it is that I mean.
He has big lips. They belong on a black guy. That's why I like black guys. They have nice lips. Are you black? I only date black guys.
I have to say you don't.
Okay, so.
Right?
Okay, and.
I just point like here. How far is this place? The gym? You know some. Look.
Dan? One white guy. I've dated one white guy. I love
That's
black
already
guys.
2. I know another one who lives in Malibu.
Like, I don't mind white guys. I just prefer black guys.
Mikey.
Hi, Big Daddy.
Mikey. Go make money. Oh. I'm really turning red right now.
Sascha, you're gonna have a hernia. Be careful. Just get a hernia.
Oh my God! Ew! I would never date Sash. Oh my God! I'm gonna throw up. Oh, give me a minute. Ew! Oh no, Sash. Ugh. Yuck. Yuck. And I hope he doesn't take that the wrong way, but yuck.
So you can see there, their relationship, I don't know, maybe they were just overly friendly or something. Serena claims that she would never date him or whatever, but anyways. So after Serena stopped working with Sascha, I think this really motivated him to want to switch from being a hitting partner to a coach. For all those years, Serena was working with Patrick Mouratoglou as her coach, and he was never upgraded to the coaching level. So I think that it made him hungry to want to have a player of his own to be able to coach, and that's where Naomi comes into play. Now, I really feel like he wanted to groom a player that was going to be able to defeat Serena, and that's exactly what happened when he linked up with Naomi Osaka in 2017. 2016, she actually got to the final of the Torrey Pan Pacific Open, and when they got together in 2017, he really started working on her. It really was the dream team. She ended up winning the Indian Wells tournament in 2018, where she defeated Daria Kasatkina in the finals, and during that year, she also ended up defeating Serena at the Miami Open. She ended up playing Serena again in the US Open 2018 final and also beat her. And I hate even watching that tournament because it was just such a disaster the way the gamesmanship was being played. I really think that there was some sabotage going on with Serena's coach. This is my opinion. And it was just a lot of weird energy around the whole grounds and how it was just everybody was so mad at Serena. Naomi ends up winning the US Open, and I hated how the media was really trying to pit Naomi against Serena. In the post-match press conferences, they try to ask her bait questions to get her to speak ill about Serena. They literally tried to pit her against Serena in terms of race. There was this racist cartoon that was made of Serena in a really masculine, grotesque, decrepit caricature where they were trying to make Serena appear as the angry black woman stereotype next to the docile, whitewashed Naomi Osaka. And that's the image that they really wanted to portray in the media, that Serena is this angry, dark-skinned black woman who didn't deserve to express how she felt when she was cheated. Even though some of y'all will say, oh, the coach admitted to coaching. He told the media that, but I really feel like the coach was in on some sort of other sabotage going on because the timing of it just seems like every other tournament now she's always being cheated, and I think Serena needs to reanalyze her box. So they did that, and you can even see in these comments, they're calling Naomi classy, trying to make her seem so soft-spoken. She's this, she's that. Not because they genuinely cared about her as a player, it's because they wanted somebody to go against Serena. And in this society, we do have a hierarchy when it comes to dark-skinned black women as opposed to other races of women or mixed race women, where they give preferential treatment to these women who look like they are as far away removed from the typical dark-skinned black woman as possible. And that's what was going on with Naomi, where they used her as this racialized pawn. After the US Open calamity, Serena again was cheated at the Australian Open, and Naomi and Serena were actually going to play in the semifinals of the Australian Open had Serena not been cheated during the quarterfinals, where they called a foot fault, but it wasn't actually a foot fault, and she ended up twisting her ankle. It was a disaster. So Naomi goes on to win the Australian Open, and she also snagged the #1 ranking in the world. Now everybody thought things were all gravy with her team and that the team was going to celebrate yet another W. However, a couple of weeks after Naomi won the Australian Open, she announced on Twitter that she would no longer be working with Sascha. So this is what she had to say. She said, "Hey everyone, I will no longer be working with Sascha. I thank him for his work and wish him all the best in the future." And then Sascha said, "Thank you, Naomi. I wish you nothing but the best as well. What a ride that was. Thank you for letting me be part of this." Now, here's what some of these comments have to say, because instead of people taking on the same approach that they had when the media put Naomi against Serena and them calling her so classy, so soft-spoken, so innocent, this victim, now I want to read you guys how they really feel about her when it comes to her going up against a white man. So this white woman said, "I'm sorry, Osaka's not working with you anymore. She has left you. She is very ungrateful. Look at the success she had with you as a coach. I think she will regret this." Then somebody said money had to be the issue. Now this is a woman that is a multi-millionaire. I mean, I think her prize money by now is well over $10 million. So money definitely is not a problem. I think it's something more sinister. And somebody actually alluded to this because they said Naomi's mom posted an Instagram story a few days ago, which I saw. It hurts my heart when someone you trusted as extended family keeps lying about something not worth lying about. Not word for word, but it's close. Didn't think of it much at first, but looking back at that post after they split, I think she was talking about Sascha. She also deleted the story not long after posting it. So then someone else said, and now Sascha unfollowed Abdul Silla in Instagram, and it says you can check Sascha's IG, the one whom he follows. He already unfollowed Abdul. So then someone told him, bro, she unfollowed you on every social media. And then someone says you didn't deserve this treatment. And someone also said you're an absolutely amazing coach, personality as well. I feel the time will come when she will regret this. Her endorsement deals, obviously this is stupid from Osaka. Another person said that's a very basic response to an outgoing coach, especially one that's helped you just win 2 Grand Slams. As the ego grows, so does the difficulty of coaching someone. They said agree. I don't think she doesn't want to give him the credit he deserves. Now she will have to get the same results without him in order to prove that she is the major reason for her recent incredible success. So then it says this makes no sense. If it wasn't for him, Naomi would still be a brainless ball basher ranked outside of the top 50. Hwat Woman says my thoughts, she has her little attitudes and didn't like a serious coach, which is pretty stupid because look how well she did with him as her coach. If she fired him, she will regret this. If he quit, he probably just got rid of a headache. So then someone said it was a poor tweet. Some kind of explanation is needed, otherwise it's conjecture highway. And then they responded and said almost flippant, isn't it? Get sense, she's not talked this through her management. Hopefully they will sit down with her ahead of her next tournament so that better explanation is given. Another woman said, boo, your apparent arrogance and immaturity is showing. You win only two majors in your early career and you automatically dump the skilled coach who got you there? Really not impressed with this move. This is a person that Twitter verified saying, pay the man what he's worth. Don't let him walk like this. And it's funny to see the Asian people that are siding against her as well, because this Asian person says, why, I hope it's not caused by your anger. When she was beating Serena and other players where she threw a racket and stuff, they weren't mentioning her anger. But now that she fired her white coach, they want to now say that her anger is a problem. So then another Asian woman says, why, I thought you guys were a great team. Sometimes loyalty is more important than any accolades in the world. And so everybody is just kind of going against her right now, telling her to sharpen her social manners because it's not cute anymore. So you can see how everybody is pretty much siding with Sascha right now as if he's the victim, when people have not been acknowledging that Naomi has been making statements in her press conference interviews where she was saying that Sascha pretty argumentative about things that are kind of frivolous. So I want to show you guys some of those clips as well.
He gets triggered very easily. Like, but other than that, he's cool and stuff.
What do you mean he gets triggered easily?
Like, he'll argue just when I'm just like chilling in the back, and then he decides he wants to fight for justice or whatever, so he'll just start arguing, and everyone else is just fine. Like for example, if there's a path, right, and the path's like blocked off for no reason, but you can go around it pretty easily, he's just gonna argue with the person that blocked the path, but you can just go around, you know? So yeah, I mean, he gets kind of triggered, but it's okay. I don't want to be mean. But I don't know why, when I first met him, I sort of didn't really expect him to be a good coach.
Talk about with Sascha beforehand.
I didn't talk to him.
Is that different?
I don't know. We haven't really been talking, to be honest. Like, before any of my matches here, he would tell me like one thing, and then I would be like, okay, and that was it.
You can see in those interviews, she was stating that he's not really a great communicator, that in some ways she was implying that he is pretty ill-tempered and not giving her any new information. Now, some may argue that in these interviews, she was appearing as if she's a know-it-all. However, I feel like this is kind of the problem that some players may run into when they are being coached by a hitting partner. There's a different mentality that a hitting partner will have as opposed to a coach. I feel like their temperament levels are different. I feel like their approaches are going to be a little bit different. I feel like some coaches has the edge in terms of the psychology of a player, and they understand their emotional ups and downs, and that some days they may feel dejected, some days they may feel motivated, and they also know that they have to be a dynamic coach in which they are able to offer new techniques. They're keeping up to date with nuance, equipment, different playing styles, patterns that are becoming more up to date. And I feel like Naomi was feeling as if he wasn't really helping her to learn these new things. However, her results kind of speak otherwise. But again, I feel like this stemmed from him being a hitting partner for so long that he isn't really sharpened as a coach to understand that she needed more emotional support from him, and some days she just probably needed him to back off, and he couldn't understand that. I think that Naomi is starting to get to a point where she may be low-key regretting this, because after it came out that she fired him, she played at a tournament in Dubai where she lost first round to Kiki Madlinovich, and I was just like, how do you do that? Kiki hasn't won a freaking match this whole year. So after she lost, Naomi actually came out and spoke about it and basically stated that she is under a lot of pressure from the media. She does not like the spotlight on her. But I'm just thinking to myself, how do you not like the spotlight on you when you had it all over you when you were playing Serena? To me, it kind of sounds like she can't handle the negative spotlight that is occurring. So I want you guys to hear this audio of her sobbing about the current events with her split from the coach and how she's being scrutinized.
I don't think I necessarily understand what position I'm in a way, because last year I wasn't even anywhere close to this ranking, and people didn't pay attention to me, and that's something that I'm comfortable with. I don't know why I'm crying. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why this is happening.
Should we step outside?
It's cool. It's dead now. Yeah, I don't really like attention. So yeah, it's been a little tough.
So you just heard her there. I really think that this is getting to her, and I think that the person that left the comment about what the mother had to say, I think something happened along the lines where Sascha may have crossed boundaries, but I don't even think it's an issue with Sascha. I just think that her whole team probably is a little suspect, because let me tell you something. I told you guys in the past that I actually used to work with Abdul Silla. He is her physical trainer, and Abdul is in really good shape. He told me that he used to work with Serena and these other players, and so my coach recommended that I work with him because, again, like I told you guys, a coach and a hitting partner is different, just as a physical trainer and a coach is different. You have to have separate team members for separate things. When you have one trying to play it all, it doesn't work right. So I had to branch off and work with a physical trainer, and so I was introduced to Abdul. When we were working out, he seems like a really down-to-earth guy. He gave me some drills that killed me, and everything seemed fine, and he even had me connected with the mayor of this particular city, and these people were telling me we were going to do like some sort of fundraiser, because in tennis you have to build up a sponsor package to be able to get funds, to be able to have your travel funded and sponsored and endorsed, etc. So like, I should have known something was wrong when he introduced me to these people that said that they were going to create a fundraiser. They literally abandoned us. Like, I was supposed to do this exhibition tournament and they didn't show up. We were looking crazy. It was like nobody there after they told me they were going to show up. And then after that, I was training with this professional tennis player who was ranked pretty high. I don't want to give her name, but she has her own academy. So Abdul introduced me to her, and I was having a hard time getting up there because I do not come from a rich family, like, at all. And so I was telling him like, hey, it's kind of difficult for me to just get from point A to point B and all these different things. So what happened was that Abdul knew about my personal life, about my issues of me growing up, where my father left the home when I was 5, and this was confidential information my mother told him, and it was supposed to be kept between us and him, but he kind of broke that player trainer confidentiality where he literally was telling everybody at the academy my personal business of how I grew up, and he was telling them this is why I have all these emotional issues going on, and he was not entitled to give that information to them because he never asked my mom if it was okay for that to be released to them. And so because the woman ended up telling us what he was saying about me, my mom was trying to call him on the phone to speak with him about it, and he was avoiding all of our calls. So she ended up getting a family friend of mine to three-way with him, and he didn't know she was on the call, and of course, like, it went down on that phone call. The fact that Naomi's mother is complaining about her trusting him like a family member, and why would he lie about such a thing, that's something that I experienced with Abdul. So, you know, birds of a feather flock together. So if that's what was going on with Sascha, best believe that Abdul is out here running his effing mouth too, because Abdul is not to be trusted. It was just kind of snakish that, like, you gain my trust, and the moment that you are shared some personal information about somebody, you go off running, telling somebody like it's some juicy gossip to tell, and it's like that wasn't really his place. So I can understand where the family is coming from, where they feel like Sascha probably wasn't trustworthy. But again, am I here to cape for Naomi? No, because you enjoyed the media spotlight that you were getting off of the negativity that Serena endured when she was blasted in the media. They just completely disgraced her. But now that everybody is going against you for the sake of trying to protect the image of Sascha and trying to make Sascha this victim, now you have to see what this feels like. I'm sure it doesn't feel good, and I'm not saying that you necessarily caused the Serena rift, but it's like, I'm sure you couldn't fully understand what Serena was going through, but you're gonna catch on early, because in this sport, when they want to pit person that has quote-unquote African ancestry against another darker skinned black player, they usually like to use a mixed player to do it, or something along those lines, just to throw it in that darker skinned black player's face. But when the time comes for you to have some sort of strife with the white person, they're going to side with the white person automatically. Saw that she's classy, she's innocent, she's so adorable. All of that's going out the window, and now they're making her public enemy #1. I can say that I do think something did happen, and I feel like in some regard Naomi knew from early on that she didn't get a good vibe about Sascha, and she was saying this in her interviews and nobody was really paying attention. So I think that whatever happened, hopefully this is a good learning lesson for her, that she has to understand how these people operate in this sport, and that she will never be the quote-unquote golden girl, especially when she's going against one of theirs. Hopefully she will be able to understand the position that Serena was in, where everybody was trying to destroy her, because that's what it seems like they're trying to do with Naomi now. So anyways, you guys, please let me know what you feel happened in this situation. Do you feel like Sascha played a role, or do you feel like it's Naomi getting a big ego? Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!